He took in the abandoned homeless girl. He never expected she'd become his wife. The first time Alex Winters saw the girl, she was curled up on a bench outside his auto repair shop, wrapped in an old coat 3 sizes too big, her face buried in her knees. It was a cold November morning in Montana, the kind where frost clung to every surface and your breath turned to clouds before you could blink. Alex had just unlocked the shop and was halfway through sipping his coffee when he noticed her. She didn't move when the door clanged open, didn't flinch at the rumble of engines being started around her. She was still as a statue, silent, defeated. Alex wasn't a man known for stepping into other people's lives. He kept to himself, ran his garage, and went home to his quiet house on the hill. But something about the way she looked, small, scared, and far too young to be on the streets, made him pause. He walked over slowly, his boots crunching in the frost. "Hey," he said gently. "You okay?" She flinched and looked up. Her eyes were a startling shade of green, wide and wary beneath the mess of tangled brown hair. She looked maybe 18, but her eyes held more years than that, years filled with hardship. "I'm fine," she whispered, voice cracking. "You don't look fine." He crouched beside the bench, setting down his coffee. "Look, I'm not here to hurt you. Name's Alex. I own the shop." She studied him, mistrust evident in every tense line of her body. "You got a name?" She hesitated. "Sophie." "Sophie," he repeated, nodding. "You hungry?" Her lips parted, then shut quickly, but he'd already seen the way her eyes darted to the convenience store across the road. "Come on. Let's get some breakfast." Chapter 2, The Spare Room. Sophie ate like someone who hadn't seen a decent meal in days, maybe weeks. Alex didn't ask. Not yet. He bought her eggs, toast, and pancakes. She tried to refuse at first, but her stomach betrayed her, growling loud enough for the cashier to glance over. Once they sat down, she devoured everything in front of her with trembling hands. "Where are your folks?" he asked between sips of coffee. She paused, a piece of toast halfway to her mouth. "Gone." He didn't press. "You got anywhere to stay?" She shook her head. Alex let out a sigh and rubbed his beard. "I've got a spare room above the garage. It ain't much, but it's warm. Shower works, and there's a bed." Her fork clinked against the plate. "Why would you offer that? You don't even know me." "Maybe not," he said. "But I know what it looks like when someone's got nowhere left to go." For a long moment she said nothing. Then finally she nodded. "Okay." Chapter 3, Broken Things. Sophie moved in that night. She was quiet, polite, and disappeared into her room after dinner. She didn't talk much, but over the next few weeks, Alex noticed little changes. She started coming downstairs in the mornings to help with breakfast. She offered to sweep the shop floor, sort bolts, and bring him tools when his hands were full under a hood. She was a quick learner and mechanically inclined, surprisingly so. She asked questions about carburetors and brake lines and started fixing up old parts in the back room just to see if she could. One evening, after closing up shop, he found her in the back garage tinkering with a beat-up motorcycle. "You know what you're doing?" he asked. She looked up, face smudged with grease. "Trying to remember. My dad, he used to ride. I used to help him fix his bike. Before. Everything." Alex nodded slowly. "Well, looks like you've got the touch. That old Harley might actually live again." A shy smile tugged at her lips, the first genuine smile he'd seen on her. Chapter 4. The Storm and the Secret. Winter hit hard that year. A snowstorm knocked out power across half the town. Alex fired up the generator and brought blankets upstairs. He and Sophie played cards by candlelight, sipping instant cocoa and listening to the wind howl. That night something changed. Sophie was sitting by the window watching the snow. "I used to dream about living in a place like this," she said softly. "A roof, warm food, someone who didn't yell all the time." He looked at her carefully. "You don't have to tell me anything, Sophie. But if you ever want to talk." She nodded but stayed quiet. 2 days later, when the storm passed, he found her sitting in the kitchen with tears streaming silently down her face. "My mom died when I was 15, she began, voice trembling. "My stepdad was bad. He put me out when I turned 17. Said I was old enough to take care of myself." Alex listened without interrupting. "I slept in shelters, park benches, did whatever I had to, but it just got worse out there. Then I ended up here." "You didn't deserve any of that," he said quietly. She looked up at him, eyes brimming. "Why are you so kind to me?" He answered without thinking. "Because someone should have been." Chapter 5. The unexpected spark. Spring brought color back to the town and to Sophie. Her cheeks flushed with warmth, her steps lighter. She started wearing her hair up when working in the shop, humming along to the radio. The other mechanics, most of them grizzled veterans, started calling her Little Wrench, half jokingly but with genuine respect. Alex found himself watching her more often. The way she concentrated when fixing an engine. The way she smiled when she got something right. The way she laughed, rare but rich like sunshine after a storm. One evening, while sharing pizza in the break room, their hands touched, reaching for the same slice. Both froze. Sophie's eyes met his, wide and uncertain. "I'm not a kid," she whispered. "I know," he replied, voice husky. But he stepped back. "You've been through a lot. I don't want you to feel obligated. I'll never take advantage of your situation." She looked both relieved and disappointed. She started, but the words didn't come. Instead, she smiled softly and handed him the slice. Chapter 6. When the past comes knocking. Trouble came in the form of a beat-up truck and a drunk man slurring Sophie's name outside the garage. "Where's my girl?" the man shouted. Sophie went pale. "That's Rick. My stepdad." Alex stepped outside before she could move. "You need to leave." Rick squinted at him. "Who the hell are you? You got my girl in there. She's not your anything. She's not going with you." Rick took a swing. Alex dodged, landed a punch to his gut, and Rick crumpled like wet paper. Police came. Sophie pressed charges. Turned out Rick had warrants. They took him away in cuffs. Back inside, Sophie collapsed against the wall. "I thought I was done running," she whispered. Alex knelt beside her. "You are now." Chapter 7. Love quietly. After that night, everything shifted. Sophie started standing a little taller. She wore earrings again. She laughed more. One weekend, she and Alex drove out to the lake, just to watch the water sparkle in the sun. It was there, under the shade of a birch tree, that she turned to him and said, "I think I love you." He blinked, startled. "Sophie, I don't need you to say it back," she said quickly. "I just needed to say it."